Good morning and welcome to the news on New Day. We're coming to you live from the John Hammond Street at Kanda here in Accra. My name is Judith Awache Tando. In the headlines this morning. The Abobamafia of Asogli traditional area, Togbe Afede, the 14th, advises ECOWAS leaders, particularly Ghana's president, to avoid engaging in any conflict with Niger. Also this morning, 13 people arrested after police fired warning shots to disperse crowd at Tamale Circuit Court. Plus 3 more persons to appear before a committee investigating leaked audio tape allegedly plotting to remove Inspector General of Police Dr. Ekufu Dampare after former Northern Regional Chairman of the MPP Namonda Bugri Nabu confirms the voice heard on tape. And on the international front, France's ambassador remained in Niger despite being given a 48-hour deadline to leave the country last Friday. French President Emmanuel Macron confirmed in a defiant speech. Details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. Please do stay with us. In our first story, one of the 10 aspiring MPP flag bearers in the recent superdelegates election, Adenimo, expressed his surprise at receiving 9 votes during the special delegates voting. He interpreted the outcome as a reminder that human behavior can be unpredictable, implying that even in politics, results can be unexpected.
Secure more votes than what I got, but that is election, and so it's a question of having the belief of getting something and you don't get it. I mean, you can never predict the human being. Usually people say delegates fear delegates, but they are human beings, so fear human beings.
No.
Not delegates. The whole thing is that, who are the delegates? They are human beings.
So you fear human beings?
Of course, because human beings, there's an element of unpredictability. And so because of that, whatever you do, you allow a certain percentage of failure or betrayal. You cannot be 100% certain.
So you feel betrayed?
Well, I mean, if you were, in your estimation, you were looking for a certain number of votes and you didn't get it, I mean, one can describe it to be a betrayal. But that is why I'm saying that human beings are unpredictable. You and I, including you, including me. Together, we are all unpredictable. Today, the mind goes this way to take a certain decision. By tomorrow, there's a new consideration that you could change your mind. And sometimes in elections, somebody is giving the ballot paper, and just at the screen of thumb printing, his mind will change. And he'll thumb print for somebody else.
Well, we'll say a bit more on this particular issue now, and the flag bearer aspirant further says that he will not step down for Boakye Jackson to occupy the 5th position. He explains he will follow the party's directive to contest him in yet another electoral college. He was speaking on Ghana Tonight with Alfred Okante.
You are now tied with Boakye Jackson for that 5th position. Both of you had 9. There was earlier news of he stepping down for you. He's come out to say it's not true. He's going into the contest on Saturday with you. Are you stepping down for him?
Not at all.
Why?
I mean, but the rules are there. We are following the rules. Okay? We adopted the rules approved by the National Council of the party. And then the rules said, or the guidelines said that should there be a tie for the 5th position, then there shall be a runoff to determine who occupies that 5th position. Well, if the lawyers can also give an interpretation that if there is a tie, then one can describe it as 5A, 5B.
So the 2 of you would be made to go.
Well,
so you have 6 people going into November 4th?
I am just as a layman. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
I don't sit at the bench.
Indeed.
But I'm just giving a layman's interpretation.
Meanwhile, the election committee of the New Patriotic Party is set to meet all 10 aspirants this morning to settle their grievances ahead of the November 4 elections.
We have taken it upon ourselves that from what we have heard, seen in the social media, we are inviting certain personalities to appear before us for engagement. We want to hear them. We have heard of certain allegations in the media, although from Saturday up to this hour that the committee is addressing you, no formal complaint has come. But for the sake of the party's well-being, for the sake of the unity of the party, we have taken it upon ourselves to again say that all such individuals are to appear before us. And the secretary to the committee will send out the notice, the invitation, so that by tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we'll be here to hear them, to back their claims with evidence, have an engagement, and to hear all concerns.
Well, the campaign team of Flagbearer aspirant Kennedy Japon says it will file a formal petition with the MPP regarding attacks on its agents during the Super Delegates Conference. Now, campaign manager and former head of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Kwame Owusu, at a news conference in Accra, further indicated that their candidate is ready to appear before the party's disciplinary committee. Godwin Asidiba was at the news conference and reports.
It was a day set across all the 16 regions of Ghana to select 5 out of 10 presidential aspirants of the New Patriotic Party. What was expected to be a peaceful event turned sour in some regions, leading to the physical assault of some party agents. From the camp of Kennedy Japon in the Bono East region, the regional youth organizer Charles Adodochi said he was beaten.
It was around 8:30 thereabouts. No, started.
At around 8 a.m., before voting commenced, I voiced concerns about certain incidents that was wrong. Then I was told the organizer is the boss here. I told them we were not here to box anyone around. Subsequently, in front of a police officer, I was attacked by 2 individuals who also stole 40,000 Ghana cedis from my pockets.
With a neck collar, he could hardly speak, and he said it was due to the pain. Humu Said, also an agent for Kennedy Japon in the Northeast region, said she was also not spared. Being the only woman surrounded by men at the voting center, she said she took to her heels to save her life.
Plain area, and I said, enclosed.
Voting was initially planned for an open area, but took place in an enclosed space, the Nalergu SHS dining hall. Despite 28 people expected to vote, the crowd inside the hall exceeded the capacity. I came out and raised concerns and was subsequently attacked by the crowd of men. After being pushed to the ground, I managed to get up and flee.
Alarm because semi-raising alarm no insider. It could be anything.
The Northeast Regional Coordinator, Al-Hassan Abdul Ganiu, alleged that he and his team were bribed with 300 Ghana cedis to sign rigged election result sheets. He said they were threatened to be beaten when they refused it.
The regional chairman said they are going to give us some amount of money, 2,000. Then we said, no, we are not there for any money. He insisted that he will increase the amount by 1,000. Then we said, no, we are not going to go by any amount. We said we are leaving. Then he ran and locked the door.
We'll say more on politics now. The minority in Parliament have rejected the police proposed route for the Occupy Bank of Ghana protest march to the Bank of Ghana headquarters. Now, the minority, in a letter to the Commissioner of Police, Accra Regional Command, said their rejection of the police proposed route is as a result of the fact that those routes were not an option discussed with them when their delegation met with the police. The statement further suggested that attempts to deny them the opportunity to terminate their protests at the headquarters of the Bank of Ghana on the pretext that it is a security zone is untenable, troubling and unwholesome for the Ghana Police Service motto of service with integrity. Now, they are urging the police to prepare to honor their constitutional duty along with the routes they have designated for the Occupy BOG protests. On September 5, the minority is protesting to demand the immediate resignation of the governor of the Bank of Ghana and his 2 deputies for what they termed mismanagement of the bank and illegally and excessively printing money between 2019 and 2022, among other accusations. On to some more stories now. The Agbobo Mafia of the Asogli traditional area and paramount chief of the Asogli state, Tobi Afede the 14th, has advised ECOWAS leaders, particularly Ghana's president, to avoid engaging in any conflict with Niger. Tobi Afede emphasized the significance of prioritizing peaceful resolutions and ensuring stability in the region.
Our peace and stability in Ghana have been magnets that have attracted and continue to attract investors to our country. So let us remember, between peace and anarchy, there is no choice. And that is why we must not go to war with Niger. I was surprised that that was even contemplated. Wars are not easily won. And what's happening in Ukraine should be good lessons to us. Diplomacy should be the way. Absolutely know that in my mind. That must be the way. We are too poor, we need too much to begin to commit resources to a war that we cannot win.
Now, former Northern Regional Chairman of the MPP, Bugri Nabu, has validated the content of a leaked video regarding an alleged plot to oust the IGP, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare. The audio tape is the subject of an ongoing bipartisan parliamentary probe. Duke Mentor Poku was at the sitting and has come through with the following report.
Chief Bugri Nabu appeared before the committee in the company of 2 lawyers. Proceedings started with a playback of the contents of the audio. Chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, then questioned Chief Bugri Nabu. He admitted that indeed his voice featured on the tape.
My voice is there. Very good. Very good. Okay. Would you be good enough to tell us the rest of the individuals that you were engaged in that conversation with?
Well, one Commander Asari.
Okay, please go slowly. Yes.
Police commander.
Yes.
But I don't know which district or which region or which section he command. There was one man also later joined called Commander COP Mensah.
Okay.
That he's on leave now prior to his retirement. He was also part of it.
Yes. So you were only 3?
Then later, when the meeting were going on, I didn't see the person, it was on phone. One JP, who is also a police superintendent at the police headquarters, but I haven't seen him. He talked to me on phone, and I listened to him on phone.
He told the committee that the commissioner of police in question had contacted him to lobby the president to dismiss the current IGP and make him the IGP.
This one is very difficult, but even what I was even disturbed, when somebody is on retirement, how do you want to come back and be IGP?
He admitted to tasking his assigns to carry out the recording to serve as proof in the event of the meeting with the president regarding the issue.
Since I cannot keep everything they were talking to me, at that point, it was very, very good to record them so that I know the president. If I tell him something, he'll follow up with all the truth. Next time, he will not give me respect. You know him and I know him. So the best thing was to ensure that when I tell him, he asked me, "Are you sure?" I said, "Well, this is the tape. I don't want to miss it. You listen to it."
Chairman of the committee later told the media that 3 more persons would appear before the committee at the next sitting.
For now, I think 3 individuals will have to show up on Thursday.
After initial hitches, the special committee set up by the Speaker to inquire into the authenticity of the audio allegedly plotting to oust the IGP held its maiden meeting today. It has adjourned proceedings till next Thursday, where other principal characters allegedly involved in this plot will appear before the committee to give evidence. Reporting for 3 News, my name is Duke Mentopoku.
Now, in related development, the Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Kofi-Boah has expressed shock at the revelations from the committee's second-day sitting. He is, however, of the view that the committee will do a good job.
The first day of hearing, it is very clear that indeed, as the testimony went, and I'm trying not to get into the work of the committee, but it's very, very clear that the authenticity of that indeed this happened, that indeed there was an occasion where this tape was recorded. And so I think that it confirms the worry I had. And I wish the committee well. I believe that they will get to the bottom of these issues and to make sure that all the fears of the people of Ghana who have listened to this tape are addressed. I mean, it should not happen in Ghana that people who have been entrusted at the highest levels to basically protect and safeguard the interests of the people of Ghana and the stability of this country in terms of security, especially when it comes to elections, see themselves as basically working in the interest of a political party to basically ensure a certain outcome. That is a nightmare. If indeed we have such characters in the police service who do not see themselves as professionals, but as MPP party apparatchiks, then God should save our country.
Now, on the international front, France's ambassador has remained in Niger despite being given a 48-hour deadline to leave the country last Friday. French President Emmanuel Macron confirmed in a defiant speech Ambassador Sylvain Ite had been ordered to go amidst rapidly deteriorating bilateral ties. But hours after the coup leader's deadline had passed, the president said he applauds Ite for staying put. The junta overthrew Niger's elected president last month. In a major foreign policy speech to ambassadors in Paris, as well as others listening remotely, Macron said France and its diplomats have faced particularly difficult situations in some countries in recent months, from Sudan to Niger at this very moment. And that's all for the 6 a.m. news here on TV3. My name is Judith Awache Tando. But of course, Roland Cookie and Nashoko are with me in the studio with the rest of New Day. Good morning.